Hello, youngsters. I don't know if you guys can hear me.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you doing?
Can you guys hear me?
Well, thank
Can you guys
Yes.
hear me? Yeah.
Yes, finally.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Good evening, gentlemen. How are we doing?
We're doing wonderful. We're doing
Mm,
Yeah.
wonderful.
It
I've
seems a
got
bit.
yeah.
ice in this
We're
glass, so
doing.
I'm wonderful. This
Wow. Wow.
ice,
You came ready. You to
ice.
top up and
Mm.
for some
Cheers.
reason your voice.
There we go. Cheers.
Wow. Are you guys sure there's juice? Are you sure
No,
there's
Cheers.
juice?
I don't know why you're.
Are you all breaking
I
up?
don't
Mr. Cheeto, you're
know.
cutting out, sir.
Is it me?
Yeah, you're cutting out.
Wow. I don't know what's happened. I can hear
Yeah.
you all clear,
You seem
loud
you
and
seem
clear.
you seemed a bit choppy, like like
He,
there's
pr-
an yeah, your internet.
he probably was doing kung fu this week.
All right.
Yeah.
Your volume is a bit low, sir.
Okay.
How's how's
How about now? Can you hear me
oh
clearly?
yeah. Okay, let me turn it up here by me 1 second.
Is that better? Hello.
Yeah, yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
You're good, yeah.
Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Is that?
Much better, much better, much better, much better. All right. How you doing, sir? You good?
I am good, and how are you doing?
I am very well, thank you. I'm very
Good,
well.
good, good.
I've
Awesome.
been enjoying the weather.
Well,
Th-
today,
this year we're really having some good summer, isn't it?
I know. It's like if the Caribbean and Africa and wherever else is hot has just been brought right to your doorstep.
Yeah, it's almost like it's like the sun decided, no, this is where I want to dwell for the next few months, and and it's kind of like settled here in the United Kingdom. All right, so
Yes,
I guess nobody will be traveling for holiday this year to go and look for the sun because the sun is right here. My
exactly.
goodness. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But I hope that you guys have been good. Families are all well, and you're well. You're still breathing, so the summer holidays is not too bad. The kids are not it's not misbehaving yet. They're still all right.
Trying to keep up.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm really excited. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, I had somebody hammering on the door. It's like, you guys know I'm in a meeting. What's up? All right, gentlemen. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for jumping on. Thank you so much for taking all the time. If you are watching the replay on this one here, thank you so much. We believe that you'll get some value out of this conversation. We are excited every week to come on here
Yes,
because this is where we come to stretch one another. This is where we come to challenge our way of thinking.
yes,
That's why we're called the mastermind for men.
yes.
Because all of us, we see things from different perspectives. So we throw a subject out there, we have a short conversation, and somebody just spit out and say, no, this is how it is. No, this is how it is. And we are getting stretched, and we're
Yes.
getting challenged.
Yep.
And I hope if you've been following this over the past couple of years, that we've managed to add some value to you, and we are still continue to extend the invitation to you to come on, uh, come join us. Why is that? Because we know that you can come and add some value to this forum. We've
Come
got
on.
somebody that is joining us there. Thank you so much. I believe thank you so much for taking all the time, sir. It's good to have you. Over the past few weeks, we had Mr. Richie. He took us on a journey of trying for us to understand purpose a little bit better, and we were just like digging in there, and I believe we got some great nuggets from those conversations. And if you did not manage to get a time to listen to those conversations, it is it is available right here on this platform and also on YouTube. So we will encourage you to go and check it out. But this evening, we're gonna continue to have a conversation, and we're gonna just do a freestyle, because I think that's when our thinking kind of like really gets stretched, is when we just throw certain bits out there and we just hear what the guys are thinking regarding those specific topics. So what I want us to touch on today, or the conversation, the direction I want to steer the conversation, is kind of like just to pick up where Clinton left off last week, because we spoke about purpose. We spoke about destiny, and I believe that's where all of us, we are there. Why do I say that? Because we don't want to walk this earth aimlessly. We don't want to get up in the morning and, all right, what am I doing today? That's not where we want to be. We want to be at a place where we are focused. We want to be at a place where we understand what it is we are building. We understand what it is that we are after. And I do recognize that maybe not all of us are at that place where we have a clear picture, maybe a clear picture of where you're taking your family. Maybe you don't have a clear picture of where you're taking your business. You don't have a clear picture of where you yourself are going, or or what your spiritual walk involves in terms of what it is that you want to accomplish, your marriage, your finances, because all of that, when we put it together, it makes up our purpose. It makes up the destiny that we want to reach a specific destination. I don't know about you guys, but one of the things, when we usually talk a purpose, when we talk, I want to fulfill my purpose, we by default we kind of like gravitate towards, I want to preach the word, or I want to help people, or whatever the case might be. I don't know how would you articulate purpose for yourself, but I think we've been kind of like programmed, especially from a spiritual perspective, as in what purpose really is. So I'm not trying to define purpose for us this evening. I'm kind of like just at a place where I want to make you aware, or make us aware of, if you really thought about it, what your purpose looked like. And I think for us to become aware of that is to be aware of each and every area of your life where you are, because I believe all purposes is just you're on a journey, but a very, very purposeful, a very focused, a very intentional journey, where you are very clear. That's how I see it. And sometimes we don't have to try to convince anybody that this is my purpose. We will just see it because of what you do, what you are passionate about. And I think our purposes are actually interlinked. It's always connected in one way or the other. Why I say that is because there are certain things that I would need for my purpose that I will find in you, or something that you are very strong in, regardless of what it is. And there are certain things that I have on the inside of me that can bring you closer to your goals, or closer to what it is that you're after. And I think if we continue to have that connection with other people, not only here on this forum, but whichever platforms or whichever communities that you are connected to, excuse me, I believe there are people that are by divine appointment. Uh, by divine appointment, they have been connected to you in one way or the other. And these are the kind of things I believe that we have to be aware of. Now, I do believe that there are certain aspects of our lives that we have to kind of like let me see how I can put it. You must probably heard me say this before, because our daily agenda, what we do on a day-to-day basis, um, is what we should engage in to get us closer to our purpose. So what I'm gonna say is our habits. It is our daily agenda that will eventually get us um, to where we want to go. I remember a few weeks ago, maybe a couple of months ago, we spoke about good habits and bad habits. um, we spoke about discipline. We spoke about the things uh, that most probably that is hard for us to work on, which will require some form of discipline. Because without discipline, because sometimes what we do, uh, we run our purpose, or we run what we're after. Is run by motivation. Oh, I am motivated, but suddenly motivation goes, or suddenly inspiration, it goes. And if I'm not inspired anymore, if I'm not motivated anymore, the thing that will carry me is the disciplines that I've embarked on, or that I've developed over the years. Now, I believe that we also look at habits. Now, the thing that will separate us uh, from those, or let me put it like this: the thing that will separate those that I would quote unquote successful people from those that are unsuccessful or less successful, is our habits. Um, because we usually, the thing that we hear, if the first thing that sometimes pops into our minds when we talk about habits, the first thing comes up is we think about bad habits. But the truth of the matter is, there are good habits and there are bad habits. um, Now, what I want us to just do for the first few minutes is kind of like talk about that. I'll tell you why I want us to revisit that again. Because the reason why I am where I am today, I am so convinced about it, is because of the habits that I have, the things that I do without even thinking about it. Those things that I do, like subconsciously, it's like maybe the way I wake up, the first thing I do in the morning, the first thing I do for the first 5 hours or whatever, whether you are actively working at the workplace, or whether you are self-employed, or whether you're running a business, whatever the case might be. There are certain things that you and I engage in without even thinking about it. It just happens, and it kind of like pushes us in a specific direction. And sometimes it doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter how hard we try to go a different course. At the end of the day, you just find yourself, all right. At the end of the day, this is where I am. This is what I've accomplished. This is what maybe you just find yourself in front of the TV. Maybe you just find yourself not finished what you set out to do. Maybe you just find yourself fighting with the wife, fighting with the kids, because of just thinking patterns, just habits, things that I do, but sometimes I don't even realize why I'm doing them. And sometimes you try to break some bad habits, but it's just a fight. So the reason why I want us to kind of like just dig into that a little bit this evening, in this first part of the session, because if we can learn how to replace bad habits with good habits, I believe that we stand a better chance to, if you like, to walk closer to our purpose and our destiny. Why is that? Because our habits can either make us or it can destroy us. Okay. So let me just throw it out there to you guys. So how would you go about first of all, have you ever thought about the bad habits? Are you actually aware of the bad habits that you have? Let's just make it some hard talk. I know it's most probably it's something that maybe some of you have already thought about it. Maybe you haven't, but I think we don't just want to generalize it. I want to challenge each and every one of us this evening. Can you think about one bad habit that you are currently engaging in, that you are aware of, and what are you currently doing to combat that? I know it's kind of like just throwing it out there to you guys, but that's what I want us to do. I want us just specifically just choose one, and I think if we are at a place where like what bad habits do I have? If you are at that place, then which means you have not become self-aware. I have not become self-aware because we've got to know what bad habits we are. You can't have Kendrick, can I come back and let you know next week? I don't know what bad habits I so this is kind of like one of those where we're pulling ourselves a little bit out of our comfort zone. Instead of just generalizing things, no, talk about you. I know I'm throwing it away out there, but let's see what comes out. Are you guys aware of any specific? You can mention one, you can mention two. If you have a whole list, pull out your list, bro, and just share the list with us, and let us know. Let us know who wants to go for it.
Chidozi, you look eager. You go first, man.
We can't hear you, sir. You're on mute, sir. We can't hear you.
We can't hear you. Sorry.
We can't hear you. Yeah. I don't do it on purpose now. Don't do it on purpose now. We will know. If you go out and come back in again, sir, then we'll be fine. If you go out and come back in and see if we can get that fixed.
I'll carry on in the meantime.
Yes, sir, go for it.
All right. I think one of the things I've been working on is enjoying the moment. And it's a habit of mine that you've got this list of stuff that you need to focus on, that you need to get through, whether it's for the day, the week, the year, or whatever. And you can become a little bit too focused on it and not remembering that you gotta spend time with the family. Okay. That the kids are not going to understand that about your priorities as a parent. Mm-hmm. And so the one thing that you promise yourself that you're going to work on is you're going to be in the moment. You're going to, be present in the moment.
Yeah.
And so a habit of mine is that you tend to put time on the moment. So you tend to say, right, so I'm going to get up and I'm going to work. You got your schedule, you got your plan, and then you think, I'm going to play with my son for an hour. Mm-hmm. And you've got to be careful of that. That's not a good habit, because that can come across, it's better off if you say, well, okay, I'm going to stop working at 5 or 6 or whatever, or 4, and I'm going to spend time with my son or daughter. Mm-hmm. Because what you don't want to give them the impression is that you're never available for them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So for me, that's one. And
So can I jump in there? I want you to be very clear. It's just because you said a lot there, but I'm still not sure what's the habit. Just specify
the habit is not being in the moment.
Not being in the moment. So how do you define that? So what do you mean by not being in the moment?
All right, I'll tell you, I'll spend an hour with my son, but during the hour, I'm checking the phone, I'm going through the messages, I'm taking calls. My mind is physically not there, and I'm counting the hour.
Okay. Right? So you are aware of that.
So the challenge. So what I do, It may sound extreme, but what I do is that I've started to design things that
Mm.
would take me away from all of that. So
Okay.
I'm not going to go on the road with him. So I can't be at the computer. And a
Okay.
lot of what I need to do may need the computer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can't hear the phone too well in my pocket.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I'm at that, but I can't be bothered to hear all the way. So the phone might ring, I miss the call. So
Mm-hmm.
that means that I'm not even going to check because I just know that these 2 hours. Now, what's weird when you remove all the checking and the gadgety things and all of that, and you just spend the time, it's weird. The 1 hour can work.
Mm-hmm.
But when they see you focusing wholly and solely on them,
Yeah.
whether it's the kids or the wife
Yeah.
or your parents or cousin, even
Yeah.
the dog. I don't have a dog, but I'm just using that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, so the exact thing here is being there in your full being, physically, spiritually, mentally, all of it, being there fully
Mm.
in that moment. And then at the same time, was super important. This is the other part of that same thing, is to make sure that you enjoy that moment,
Yeah. Yes.
not just to be there.
Yeah.
Those two things I've decided for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Any task I do,
Mm-hmm.
I will devote to that
Be there.
because that
Mm-hmm.
be there. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
just
Mm-hmm.
be there. And mind you, let me just be clear on this. This is not about just physically being there,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? Is that you're thinking about that, you're relaxed about that, you're enjoying that.
Mm-hmm.
The outcome of that is interesting. So you said you're going to take 1 hour break and whatever. If you're not fully there, you go back and you're actually stressed as though you never took an hour break.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you, even if it means exhausting yourself running around the park or wherever with your son,
Yeah.
your daughter, your wife, whoever, for 1 hour, and you're fully there in the moment,
Mm.
and you come back to whatever you come back to, I guarantee you, you're not burnt out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That.
that's what I'm working on.
Wow. 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 Right. You took us places now. It's like, because I believe just the way that you put it now,
Mm.
man, we can even shut the session down now. That's enough for us to go and chew on for the whole week. Because I believe the way I'm looking at this here, when you're talking about being present, being in the moment, the way I'm looking at it is because life is about creating experiences.
Mm.
And you and I can never create an experience if we are not there. And I like how you put it. You are there physically, you are there mentally, you are there spiritually, you are there, whatever that is required, your full being is there. You've got to, especially when it comes to spending time with the family, you've got to be there because even if, if you have to think back, what did I do last week with the kids or with the wife that I can actually remember we did? Apart from oh, we went to the mall or we went to the park, but can you actually remember the detail? Oh, we were sitting in the garden. But the only way for us to really remember, for that to be imprinted in our memories, because imagine now if you travel 20, 30, 40 years into the future now, I have to ask myself, will I be able to remember this moment? Isn't it? Because that's what life is about. It's about creating memories. And yeah, thank you so much for bringing that up, sir. That's
I,
really what.
I want to say something else that just came to my mind.
Yeah, yeah,
Sorry.
go for it.
I want to challenge every single one of us,
Mm,
whether you're married, you're dating, or whatever. When this session is finished,
mm,
I want you to go to your wife in your full being and just spend a minute or two. I want you to be there. I want you to, if you don't feel like doing it, listen to me. Work on yourself to do it. And I want you to tell her how much you love her. Then, if she doesn't look at you a bit puzzled because of the way you approach this thing,
She will look like,
get some feedback. I'm serious. Get some feedback tomorrow when she's awake.
yeah.
There is a difference when you do something and you're fully there. So
Yeah.
we put in this to the test.
Yeah.
Start with your wife. Start with your child.
It's true.
Yeah. Go and sit down. And you say to them, mind you guys, I'm not looking at you now. I'm looking away from the camera. Okay.
Yeah.
You say to her, babe, you're gorgeous and I love you. Don't shut your eye. Open your eye. Look at her. Not with mean eyes, though. Yeah. So, why I'm saying this to you is, you see, what I wanted to share when you started to now, it's brought me to that. We get carried away with this whole thing about purpose and about, as men, we're very objective, we're very realistic, but please, the things that the propel, to be propelled, to be to get to a point where the acceleration is steep, the buildup has got to be consistent and incremental. Okay. Now, when you have that, after a period of time, you can get the lift off that you're thinking about. So if you're 40, 50, 60, and you're wondering, I definitely might crap out soon and I still didn't do this thing I come to Earth to do. You don't know that. Keep chipping away, one moment at a time. The little do you know, the smile, the laughter, the positivity that you're bringing around your family and your wife is what's keeping them going. So, my brothers, all I'm saying to you is, let's keep at it and let's begin to get better and better at it. Yeah, let me stop there now.
Awesome. Yes, sir. Good evening. We've got one of the guys that jumped on there. Good evening, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. Good to have you. All right, Mr. Chido. Sir, I think we still got an issue with your sound. We can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
We can't hear you. You are still not. Maybe try to connect with your phone or something. I don't know.
You want to go out and come back in? Maybe?
Yeah. If you jump out and come back in again, if that's okay, or maybe try a different device.
Yeah, I think his internet might be playing up a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, sir. You've really taken us places now, and I think there's a second one that you wanted to mention. Don't hold back. I know there's a second one you wanted to brought up. Yeah, just put it out. It's fine then, and we kind of like.
Okay, what I wanted to mention basically is this.
Yeah.
This is empty. There's nothing on it.
Yeah, go for it.
So basically, God decided that, okay, so you're gonna be named Kendrick, because you didn't just happen because your father and your mother say that. My belief is everything is ordained by God. Yeah. So I'm named Clinton, and then we got Chidozi. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're coming in, and you've got a blank picture or rap sheet of life. But every day, every little thing you do, from moment one, you're writing the script, your own script. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
of your play,
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
your movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're creating the scenes. You're creating. Here's the funny part. All of it's been created before.
Yeah.
Here's
Mm-hmm.
the exciting part.
Yeah.
You got to discover it.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the most exciting part about it.
Yeah.
You will never fully discover that script or part of your life unless you are fully there.
Yeah. Yeah. Whoa.
So
That
you've
that
got to be fully there
you've
to
got to be there.
experience it. And let me just take this to the test.
Mm-hmm.
If I begin to say to you, what is some of the times in your life? Oh, the big man himself.
Hey, Jordan, good to see you, sir. Thank you so much for jumping on.
Thanks,
if
gent.
if you were supposed to, if I was supposed to say to you, tell me about 3 or 4 times in your life
Mm.
that you think you had the most wonderful time. If you examine those ones, it's not the time when you will spend the most money,
Yeah.
maybe, but it would be the time when you applied yourself, when you was there,
Yeah.
and it actually never took much of you during those times because
Yeah.
it happened so quickly, so seamlessly.
Yeah.
But it's because you said, you know what, I'm going to turn up, I'm going to be here, I'm going to, you know, for example, you taking the kids to the mall, the wife asks you a question. Oh man, so you taking the kids to the mall, but actually your head is in the work that you need to complete,
Yeah.
right? Now, here's the deal. So you take the kids to the mall, you come back to complete the work, and you're struggling.
Mm. Mm.
Here's the other deal now. Kendrick takes his kids to the mall, and he goes on social media and said, "We had a frolicking time." You see Kendrick laughing, and
Mm.
you're thinking, "Hold on, wait. How did he get to laugh with the kids in the mall?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So, listen. I'm trying to let you know, number one, inspiration is good,
Mm.
but do not ever mix inspiration as comparison. Kendrick is Kendrick, you are you.
Absolutely.
Just
Yeah.
be there.
Just
Just be
be.
totally there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah? Kendrick might just love to laugh. You just probably don't remember how to laugh.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's a dangerous thing to do because you cannot compare your experience or whichever way you're looking, the way you spend time with your wife, with your kids, or
Yeah.
with your colleagues, with your friends. You cannot compare that with somebody else the way they're doing it because obviously we all kind of like we are wired differently. Mr.
Yes.
Cheeto, Mr. Cheeto, sir, can we hear if there's sound? Any sound?
Yeah, is there sound by the way?
Yes.
There you are. There you are.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I
Really,
thought maybe
really sorry about the mix
no,
up with the sound and everything.
no worries.
It's, the question has changed. Now we
No,
can hear the voice.
no
We
worries.
moved on from the original question, which is really exciting.
No. I'm sure you can remember the original one. The original one.
Okay, okay, absolutely. So, what I wanted to contribute to what we're doing tonight. Good evening, Andy. By the way, pleased to have you. What I wanted to add to what we're talking about tonight is, we've talked about. First of all, um, um, we touched on habits. There's the first one. There was the purpose.
Mm,
Really, really good topics that we're talking about tonight. Easiest to talk about, but really hard to put into practice. But what I wanted to add is it's always important that we recognize that your purpose might be one thing, that is being the best at the job you're doing, or being the best at talking to people and getting them to change their mindset about a certain thing and so on. But there is no body on earth that becomes that type of person on their own. You have got to be coming from a family. You've got to be someone's child. You've got to be in a circle of friends. You have support. Now, support, that means you have got to be supporting them as well as them supporting you.
Mm.
Now, that's all part of your purpose: being a good friend,
Yeah.
being a good husband,
Mm-hmm.
being a good colleague at
Correct.
work.
Yeah.
All these things, they build, they come together to produce the results that you're producing. So
Mm.
you see someone who is at work and he's absolutely buzzing when he comes in the morning. Go home and check his relationship with his wife if he's married. Check
Yeah.
his circle of friends. You see that there's something happening there.
Mm.
Because he arrives at work inspired and ready to go.
Mm.
So as we begin to think about the purpose for which we are called, there are certain parameters that's got to be right for
Yeah.
us to be able to deliver on
Yeah.
those purposes.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very important. And then regarding habits, that one is another crucial one. We've talked about so many things. For me, what I'm discovering as I'm aging, and the number of gray hairs coming out of my hair and my beard now is multiplying. Is how foolish I've been about the things I want. You begin to separate what you want from what you really need.
Yeah. Yeah.
As time passes, you now realize that possibly you've been looking for ways to get rich. That area, I want to move out from this area and go to that area.
Yeah.
Oh, my car is this, I want to drive this other car. I want to be able to go to that shop and buy anything I want to buy anything I want to buy for my wife. Shop in a very, very posh place. I want to be able to go to that holiday, and so on and so forth. But there's something that happens with those I want, like the parable of the rich fool in the Bible. What happens is, because you're pursuing things that relates to what you now form that habit of chasing the very, very fast things, sharp, sharp. I want to become rich, So, if someone comes to you and say, Kendrick, come, I'll show you how to make £1,000 consistently doing something every month.
Mm-hmm.
You keep that on the side, and you have someone else who says, I can help you to scale your business from 0 to 500,000
Yeah. Yeah.
within 1 month.
Yeah.
And that is guaranteed, so on and so forth and so
Yeah.
forth. Now, I'm not trying to say that either end is bad. I'm not saying that either of these guys is lying. But when the purpose of your pursuit is baseless and self-centered, whatever you achieve in the course of that pursuit becomes worthless. Even when you get the money, you'll be able to buy those things and live in those places you want to live, but that money is going to disappear. But when you begin to create that habit, which is, I'm talking about myself now, and this is something I'm beginning to think about, things that will have impact on other people, because it's only when you find yourself in a position where you are trying to help others that you can find real fulfillment, real joy. You can sit back and you watch people prospering, watch people happy because you intervened in some way in their life. It may not bring you money, it may not bring you, any of those things, but the joy that comes from there will inspire you to even work more to achieve whatever it is that you're achieving. Now you're achieving it in peace, and know that it's not all about you, but lives are being changed. People's lives are being transformed. So what I'm doing right now is thinking about those ideas that I have that can, maybe transform other people's lives if I can help in one way or the other, if I can create some form of business that employs people, that gives people an opportunity to maybe work with me, because sometimes it's not about the money that you pay people. It's not about what you give people, material things that you give people. There are some people who are wise in the world. There are people who you will just need to spend 5 minutes with, and things will change for you. The way you're thinking will change. The things that you do, it's a gift. It's not because they are special or anything. And by the way, people like Elon Musk, Bill Gates, and so on, you'll be shocked to know that they have coaches. But what's the name of their coach? You're coaching a billionaire. What is your name? Surely, if things worked the way we thought it worked, then these guys should be multi-billionaires, because they are the people who are meant to be coaching billionaires. So, beginning to see that aspect that I don't have to be rich to make somebody rich. I don't have to be the best in something to make somebody the best in that thing. So these are the type of habits I'm trying to create, so that as life goes on, you can look around and you're not looking at your cars. Because, when I got my car, it was really nice, but now it's old, But some people I helped 10 years ago before I got my car, I can see them today. They are, enjoying their life. They are married, living happily, having good jobs, and so on and so forth. You can look back at that. It comes fresh every day. So I am at that stage where I'm looking back and reassessing what gives me joy, reassessing what I'm pursuing as part of the, my habits. Because that's what determines, like you were saying earlier, Kendrick, the sum total of what we are today is as a result of our habits.
Yeah.
So, switching from that, I want to become this, I want to, have this, so that, I will also have this, and then do this, and so on. Switching from there to, looking at myself, looking around and seeing, are there people who are a bit lower than me that I can lift up? Are there people who are higher than me that I can guide in such a way that they don't fall down? Because all these things, they are very, very necessary, and begin to do that. Because, the other thing I've discovered is when you begin to build others, some scriptures, when you read them, it means something. But when you walk away from them, the Lord will start explaining it in a different way to you. There's something that Jesus said. He said, he that will want to save their lives will lose it.
Yeah.
And he that will want to lose it will save it. Yeah. Now, if you think about this, and when it comes to losing yourself, removing yourself in the priority of the things that you're doing, and thinking, how do I prepare myself so that I can be of service? Now you're removing your own personal priorities, your needs, that car, those mansions that you want to build, and so on. You're putting them to the side, and you're saying, let's look around. Who can I help to build up? If you speak to the very successful, the most successful people in the world, they will tell you that this is the root of what they have achieved. And when you achieve that, you see that you're sitting down, money is not an issue, any house you want to buy, anything you want to do, that's the kingdom of God. When you don't have to have something that is keeping you awake at night and you're worrying, how am I going to do this? So you look at most of them who are able to do it, most of them who are disciplined, who have these habits of building others up, you will see that the foundation of what they enjoy, the good life that they enjoy today, is because they have withdrawn themselves from pursuing very selfish things, myopic things that they want to, and they've broadened their view, and they're now looking, who can we build up? Who can we lift based on this thing that we're doing? And they will begin to build. And that's the direction I want to follow now. I'm just sharing it just in case it gives any of us insights into what to pursue. Not that I don't have personal things I want to pursue self, but I'm beginning to see that as a form of gratitude also. Because sometimes we want something, we want to become something, something. But if we don't stop sometimes, we cannot recognize what the Lord has done already.
So
because some of us have been blessed, so much so that we are very foolish until something happens. And did I have all that? Did I have all this?
Can I interrupt you there? I just want to pull you.
I'm finished.
No. I'm actually feeling bad to interrupt you because what you're saying is just so fruitful. But what I want to do, I really want you to zoom into. Remember, we want to find out what is it.
obviously there's a lot of powerful stuff that you said there. But now, when you to come back to that one question, what is that one habit? That one habit, if you can just highlight it within one sentence, that is kind of like you are aware of, and what are you doing? Kind of like what are you are aware of it. So if you are aware of it, there are certain things that you do to kind of like combat that bad habit. So what will that one thing be?
So the one habit, simple as this: chasing quick wins, chasing shortcuts.
Okay.
That's what it is.
Okay. So then, the fact that you are aware of it. So what would you, if you just mention one or two things that you are actually now doing to combat that habit, which you kind of like see as a bad habit? What would you say you are currently doing to combat that?
All right. So the first step is taking some time to pause.
Okay.
I've taken some time to pause and look at the things I'm doing.
Okay.
So many things that I've started, so many things I've tried to do, and think, really have a good thought about it to say,
Yeah.
I've tried this, I've tried that, and then the next step is identifying what the motive of doing all those things that you're doing. What is it? For example, what do I want to? Why am I looking to succeed in this area of my life or in this type of business? Am I trying to succeed because I want to really help people out there? Or am I trying to succeed because I want to be able to clear my debts? Or I want to be able to live a certain kind of life?
Yeah.
And then taking a step back and thinking, okay, so, I get to a stage where I ask myself the questions, all these things, because when you have those personal reflections, that's when you have the opportunity to ask yourself questions. It's not Kendrick or Andy or Clinton asking me now. It's me asking myself. Why do you need that? Why is this top of top in your list? Why do you need that? And when you answer the first step to say, okay, I want to maybe clear my debts, or I want to be able to afford what is the value of that thing in the grand scheme of things?
That's right.
Looking at the world the way it is, how does that change the world?
That's right.
And then, I get to a stage where you say to yourself, this doesn't. Because, I listened to something very powerful today, and he was saying, sometimes we look at some people as unsuccessful, but it's because of the way that we're judging them. If we really, really understand that purposes are different for everybody,
that's right,
then we will understand that that person that you look at as poor may be working in their purpose.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not about your assessment. It's not about my assessment. So once that is clear, then I'm now in a position where I can step back and say to myself, being truthful, how do you rate your life? Do you see that you're rating your life that you've done well so far? Or are you rating your life that you've been a failure? You failed at so many things. And for me, that situation just brought in a level of gratitude. Because just like every one of us, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes when you've done so many things that have not worked, it overshadows all the good things you've done.
You are not by yourself, sir.
You are
not,
you don't. I was saying to my wife about something, some businesses I've started, I tried to do the other day, and she said, no, you can't talk about yourself like that. That you felt that those things did not mean that there are no other things that's working
that's right.
in your life that you've achieved. You can't, because of a few failures, then you rate yourself as a failure in doing those things. So so that's what I've managed to do, and bring myself to a place of gratitude, recognizing what really matters. That is not me. That really matters. It's not that type of car that I'm going to buy that really matters. It's not that big house that I'm going to buy that really matters. What matters now for me, as I have identified it, is what will impact as many people as possible. What can I do that will change people's lives from where they used to be to where they can be? not so that I can take the glory, but so that transformation will happen. Because there's a ripple effect in the world that if somebody gets awakened, you are so amazed at the fact that coming from where you're coming from, you can actually go through this bridge and now be on the other side. There is a fire that's in you that will now start going, let's drag one person over. It's okay. Let's drag another person. Because what's always ringing in your head is that feeling of amazement, of being able to cross the bridge from where you never thought was possible. But someone helped you to do that. So that's what I want to begin to do. That's where I want to focus my habits, my everything I'm doing going forward. That's where I want to focus it on. To begin to think of impact rather than self profit, self benefits, and so on. Things that will, lift me up, which is not necessary. Really.
And that's truly a powerful thing that you just brought out, because at the end of the day, even what you were mentioning, because so many of us, not only for the four of us, but so many of the guys that are listening to this now, have been at the place where we try out all kind of different things. And sometimes when things are not coming together, if it's not working, we are very quick maybe to jump to put ourselves out as, we are failures, or we are unsuccessful. But the truth of the matter is, it's what we've learned through going through all of those things, because sometimes it's not even so much about accomplishing a goal, but it's about the process that you and I have to go through, and what we have to become, because there's a certain kind of person that you and I have to become to obtain a certain goal. It's the journey. It's the journey in itself that will be the real benefit of what we're doing. Sir Andrew.
Yes, sir.
Just to bring you up to speed, I know you kind of like came in a little bit later than usual. So the question that we've thrown to all of us on here is, what is that one thing that you are kind of like, that one bad habit, or those two bad habits that you are embarking on every single day, or maybe on a continuous basis, that is kind of like taking you down a path that you don't want to be? And the fact that you are aware of it, what are you currently doing to combat that? I know kind of it's a tough question just to throw out there, but I think sometimes when you hear a certain question and you actually can speak it out, it brings that awareness even a little bit better forward. So over to you, sir.
Yeah, I think for me, very powerful, Mr. Chidosi, that you just explained there. And I mean, everything you said is, from my part, what you go through in terms of gaining wisdom over time. Because the more we have failures, the more we reassess where we've come from. Sometimes we forget to reassess ourselves. And we just think, I've had a failure here. You just think the worst. It's never going to get better than this. And you basically put yourself down in a frame of mind where you don't get victory over that failure, thinking that it's an opportunity to learn. So I think one bad habit I was really trying to shake was thinking that what I've done was in vain, because I've gone to great lengths maybe to gain knowledge to help others. So I've been at that place where I've realized a long time ago I have to help other people. It's not just about me. And I find the best outcome if I do that. But guess what? Here's the challenge. If you don't get the support from those around you, what do you then do? Because you're not doing this for yourself, you're doing it to help other people. What if they reject that help? And you find yourself on your own. Can you get through that barrier? And lo and behold, if you keep on with the confidence that you have, you get to a point where God sends the people in that you actually need to help. And I've got to the point where a bad habit was trying to help everybody.
Whoa. That's a good one.
and then I thought, no, this is not working, because now I'm having not enough time for myself even to think, where am I being effective? So even in my job, in many areas, I cut back my time and my involvement. And the opportunities come where the right people come my path where I have to help them. And it sometimes come full circle where those years later, those people thank you for that one thing you've done. But you can still learn from that. But like Chidozi said, gratitude is the one thing I think which is so powerful.
Yeah.
That
We've lost you, sir.
I think his connection might have gone.
I think we lost.
Yeah.
I think
we
I
dropped
think
off
we lost.
there. Yeah.
He's
I was
back.
just gonna I was just gonna say if we are grateful, then
Yeah.
any bad habit that we have, we can actually shake because we're aware of it. The problem is not being aware of something. And in our younger lives, we sometimes continue with bad habits, knowing I have to change, but only when it costs you something or you really assess it properly, you change your course and direction. And sometimes it means pulling back and not doing too much, having more time to think.
Yeah.
It was interesting today. I was helping someone at work, and he was 2 weeks behind with work that had to go out. I probably knew how to do it, but he needed the support. And I explained to him, listen, today, what happened last week didn't work. He got negative feedback, so much so that he was really upset on the phone. We shared the screen, and I said, let's work through this problem until we solve it, and we're going to finish it today. And I didn't know how big the issue was, but we worked through, and I'm in two brains rather than one. We got to try several things. He was going to give up, and I said, well, let's think of another approach. And he said, well, why not we do? And he came up with a solution, and he said, listen, let me finish this, come back in half an hour, and we check where I'm with this, or how far I am. We came back on another call, and the guy did it, and he was so happy that tomorrow he can say the work is done, or whatever negative comments they got. And it was something along the lines that he's not competent.
No.
And that's a blow to get that from senior managers.
Yeah.
Who don't know the challenges he's going through, and I know it better. So I'll send an email tomorrow and basically back him up, and I'll show that it's a technical issue and there's nothing wrong with his competency.
Yeah.
But that collaborative working, the habit of just going with everything and with everyone, doesn't give us the time to think properly.
Yeah.
And sometimes we really have to battle with ourselves and reason to get that progress that we need.
Yes, sir. Wow. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that, man. The being at a place where you feel what you do is not significant. Being in that kind of a habit can be very damaging, because we undermine our contribution. And I think if we feel what if you're in a habit of thinking what you're doing is it doesn't make a difference, that's something that if it's for all of us, we have to fight that, because that's not a good place to be. And I like what you were saying about trying to help everyone. Sometimes we feel like it is our duty to help everyone. Then we ask ourselves, why am I so burned out? And why it's almost like you don't get to the things that is priority. Family, maybe work stuff that needs to be done, whatever that is supposed to be done, you don't get to that because you're trying to to help everyone, which is not a bad thing. But at the end of the day, somebody is going to pull on the short end, and which is going to be yourself, because you only got so much time. So thank you so much for sharing that, sir. And I think that one it applies to each and every one of us. So we are at the top of the hour, so I'm going to take like 15 seconds to spit my one out here. One of the things that I'm really fighting for a while now, and I've been aware of this for some time, is I'm at a place where I always put things off. So what we call procrastination. You know, where you feel like I don't know whether I'm the only one, but the thing is like you because I kind of like sometimes I feel like I'm more sufficient when the pressure is on. I kind of like get things done when the pressure, but it's unnecessary pressure because I can still get the same job done. I can still, and even better if I've made a decision. Let's just work this thing and make use of the time that I have. So no, just wait for the last minute. Once the last minute ends, I'm like, you feel like, oh, I'm so overwhelmed, but I still get the job done. And that's one that I really fight because I think when that happens, it doesn't really give you, it doesn't, okay, it does not give me room to be more creative because if I will always leave things for last minute, because I could have done it in a more better, excellent way. But because I've run out of time, you know, I can't even now say, oh, that one is I've put the cherry on the top there. I can't even do that. Why? Because now I just barely scraped through. It's like, oof, yes, we made it on time. But so that's what I'm kind of like, and what am I doing to combat that is I kind of like it just comes down to the discipline part of things because you know and just put certain boundaries around and put certain uh, what's the word for I'm looking for milestones that I need to reach at a specific time. And I've come to find if when I actually make use of the time that is available for a specific project or whatever thing that I need, it's not even something that is it just sometimes it is very important stuff that needs to be done, but I still take my own time on that. So so anybody want to lay hands on me, pray for me. But yeah, that's my battle, and I believe I'm getting better, and I think it's just a matter of me focusing, and I think because we always want to be at a place where we deliver excellence, and be outstanding in what we do. But if we always put things out to the last minute, if I always do that, I will never get to that place where people will be able to see, or you know, even just myself, I will be able to see that wow, this is a real craft
Yeah.
because I took my time with it. So, gentlemen, so being in the moment, be present, like Mr. Clinton was saying.
Yes.
That's a key. So that's one of the nuggets for today. Being in the moment. Okay.
And the assignment, please don't forget that. Very important.
So, sorry, I missed that.
There was an assignment that came with that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. You have to go
absolutely.
to your wife tonight.
That's right. That's right. Thanks for
Yes.
reminding us on that. Go and tell them, Mr. Sticker by the cheek and say, baby, I love you. And then you will see what the
Don't look like Darth Vader when you go doing it. You know?
and you will see what reaction you get on that one there. Like, what happened? Did you something came upon you? You'll be like, send us a picture, just even video record and drop us there and let us know so that we can see what the reaction. We want some feedback, okay? We want some feedback. All right, from Chido was you know we a habit of always want to have quick wins, and always want to. But we know certain things. It's a process. It's a process. So we must be willing and be prepared to walk the journey, and not always wanting those instant results, because sometimes we can kind of like you start something. This is taking too long. Drop it, go to the next thing. This is not working. And what we do, we leave a trail of unfinished projects. And you look back, it's like, whoo, my goodness, I've done a lot. I've tried a lot, but that's not us. No, it's kind of like, no, this is going to work. Let me just, because sometimes we're just one step away from that breakthrough, but because we wanted an instant result, but that's not how we go about it. And then, sir, what I do is insignificant? No, it's not. And that's something that we have to make sure that we combat all the time. And what the small we do for whoever, it makes a difference. And if we are in the habit of embark in the habit of seeing our efforts as insignificant, we need to make sure that we deal with that. Stan, thank you so much for bringing that up. And then procrastination, putting things off. No, we don't put things off. If you can do it today, even if it's little by little by little, but don't leave it for the last minute, gents. Ask me. Sometimes the heat is on. Sometimes the heat is on. All right, gents. I don't want to keep. I know we can carry on with this one for the whole night, but we're already 10 minutes past the top of the hour. So thank you so much for coming on. I hope that this session was helpful. It was productive, and for everyone that is listening to the replay, hope that you managed to pick some gold nuggets. The guys are always at the best when they open their mouth. So, gents, have an amazing week. Enjoy the sun, and don't forget your assignment for today. Go and take your wife by the cheeks and say, "I love you, baby. You are all mine." All right. See you guys soon. Yeah.
Okay,
Good
guys.
night, guys.
See you.
God bless
Okay,
you.
guys. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thanks very
Thank you
much.
so much.